morning. Port of Seattle Commissioner Fred Felleman, and I'm not trying to imitate a pirate. Just came out of eye surgery Monday, so shows you how much I'm committed to Bellevue and the East Side. So rally to this occasion. I'd like to join everybody else for thanking all that put this together, and my colleagues who you saw in their articulateness, and we still have the best to come with our Commission President Felleman. So I have just 3 items I'd like to cover, but I'll get through this with some help from the newspaper here. Well, so I'm beginning my 3rd term as one of your 5 county-wide elected officials here. So I'm a bit biased, but I believe that despite the Port of Seattle being one of the most important organizations in the region, it's also, the public remains quite unfamiliar with its significance to our area. While many people are aware the port operates cruise terminals in Seattle, few are aware that the airport is also managed by the same port that benefits this entire region. Some may be aware that we operate cargo operations in cooperation with the Port of Tacoma in what's known as the Northwest Seaport Alliance, which connects our farmers to Asian markets and importers to the Midwest. Clearly, we're more than just Seattle's port. On a more local reminder here, it was the port's $81 million purchase of the railroad right-of-way from BNSF back in 2009 that laid the foundation for the East Rail project, for the benefit specifically of East Side communities. Obviously, that was 2009. We can do some newer stuff, but just to remind you of some of the things that came up, after the port secured the continuity of the right-of-way, extending from Renton to Snohomish, we sold it to King County, the city of Kirkland, the city of Bellevue, the city of Redmond, city of Woodinville, Sound Transit, and Snohomish County. And over the years, these jurisdictions have been busy converting that right-of-way for trails for hiking, biking, and commuting, which has helped improve the living and working environments for East Side communities. And I hope you've all had a chance to benefit from that. But the draw of this natural amenity has also led many businesses to establish operations along the right-of-way. And some of such investments really reflect the port's commitment to advancing the triple bottom line for the economy, communities, and the environment throughout King County. So, like I said, there are other issues that we're going to try to take up. I know a lot of people want to get to the airport more efficiently, and we want to reduce traffic on the drive, but we've been continuing to work on that effort. The second thing I'd like to address is that my particular focus is on this region's wealth of both natural capital to support the development of a sustainable ecotourism program. For the last 4 years, I've served on the Visit Seattle Board and was recently appointed to the U.S. Department of Commerce's Travel and Tourism Advisory Board. And I bring an environmental emphasis to the Commission, having received a Master's of Science in Fisheries Biology from the UW in '86. Let's hear it for the UW, right? Now, while the board needs to do well to do good, it's important to remember that we all depend on clean air to breathe, clean water to drink, and a hospitable environment to live. And fortunately, this region is rich in all these natural assets, and people from all over the world want to come to experience our ecological diversity personally. And tourism is big business. In Washington, it employs over 200,000 people and generates nearly $22 billion in annual spending. In addition to its tech and growing space sector, I thought it's Kirkland's the space case, East Keaton County's proximity to nature has led Visit Bellevue to develop a program called Base Camp Bellevue. I can't wait to hear more about that one. While ecotourism adds outdoor recreational opportunities to our traditional tourism promotion, it must also be paired with additional efforts to protect and restore nature, the user experience, as well as the communities and cultures that draw visitors to this rich but fragile region. So I'd like to share some of those incentives and initiatives that we're taking, but then again, I was told I have 3 minutes. So on my 3rd point, I just wanted to talk about collaborating with tribal governments, which has been foundational to my work as an environmental consultant in Washington the past 35 years and continues at the port. The Muckleshoot and Suquamish tribes have been fishing in Elliott Bay and the Duwamish River since time immemorial. While the first cargo ships were canoes, the Port of Seattle's commercial operations began overlapping with them since its founding in 1911. As much as our cargo volumes grew, so is our conflicts with indigenous fishing activities. Much of our work with tribal governments have traditionally focused on reducing these conflicts and compensating tribes if their gear gets damaged or impedes their ability to fish. Monocular vision. All right, throughout my 8-year tenure at the port, I've served as the tribal liaison and have been working to expand our primarily transactional relationship with tribes to one of broader collaboration. And some of these efforts have included development of memorandum of agreement with the tribes to address workforce development, fisheries, and environmental restoration. And we just added a tribal liaison staff position who will help us develop these programs, and due to the leadership of our executive director, Steve Metrick, who gets it. So let's hear it for Steve. In closing, just a couple of reminders. The port is an economic engine for the entire region, which is committed to running on increasingly cleaner fuels. Environmental protection is not just compatible with the economy, it's inseparable. And striving to meet the challenges of balancing the goals of a triple bottom line based on economic prosperity, equity, and environmental protection is not just the right thing to do as a public agency, it's foundational for us to retain the social license from the public to continue to support industrial activities that support living wage careers in an increasingly expensive region to live. So now, with that, I'd like to present you with a slightly less slick edited video on one of the great success stories we've had in the Duwamish River Restoration Program, which really shows what we can accomplish when we commit ourselves to leaving things better than we found them. Thank you very much.